is this. Should is conditional or it gets in the group?
Should is a modal verb.
The two. Okay.
Yeah.
Will, would.
Will is considered a modal verb by some authors. Not all of them, but can be considered as a modal verb, will. So you said should, will, what else?
Would,
Would, good.
shall,
Shall,
ought to.
ought to.
That's also, is that also a modal verb with the to or just ought?
Ought to, together.
Okay,
That is,
together.
it is a synonym for should. When you say should or ought to, it is the same.
But when you say ought to, it's more like an obligation. I have in my understanding.
Yeah, but a little bit, not that much. Because when something is a strong obligation, you use must.
Yeah, but still, for example, in conversation, when you say you have to do something because you have to, I guess ought is more appropriate because, for example, and this day we are watching WandaVision, for example.
Okay.
Series, I recommend it. I understand the difference between shenanigans and problems.
Okay.
That, for example, that my doubt resurfaced because I thought that before, but I dropped the topic.
Okay.
That sometimes when you're speaking, there's certain words that even though have the same meaning, when you have to, well, following conversation, they're more appropriate to use in one situation and one in
Yeah,
another.
that will depend on the context. Yes. Because, for example, when using ought to, you can give advice using ought to. But if the person doesn't do what you're advising, yeah, there is a consequence. It is not just a like recommendation. Yes.
When you say
It is
should.
like, it is, yeah, when using ought to.
Okay.
Yes. You ought to know this. If you don't know it, there is a consequence. Yes. So, but in translation into Spanish, they mean the same. Maybe the connotation, what it means, yeah, deeply inside, I mean, is what you said. Ought to is like a little bit stronger than should. Yes.
Like the opposite of the for the translation to Spanish.
I'm sorry.
For example, de es la, el, los, las, etc., etc. Or in this case, should and ought to are just debes.
Debería.
One only word, debería. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you say debes, it is must, which is
Oh, yeah, that's
obligation,
another modal.
prohibition. Yeah, that is another modal verb. Listen, I'm going to show you a list of modal verbs. Okay, let's see. Can you see it?
Yes, I'm seeing PowerPoint.
PowerPoint 6 modal verbs. This list is incomplete. Can you tell me which are missing here? You have can and can't, negative affirmative, could, which can also be couldn't, must, mustn't, have to, should, shouldn't, would, wouldn't, will, which is one you said before, won't, will not, shall, shan't. Remember, you use shall only for I and we, for first person, either singular or plural. Will, won't, you have it here, wouldn't, shouldn't, don't have to, or doesn't have to, depending on the subject, must, mustn't, could, couldn't, can, can't. Is
Have
there?
to is also a modal.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that later. Some others consider have to, need to, and will as modal verbs. I consider they are part, for example, have to or has to, they are part of structures do and does, which are simple present. And for me, will is an auxiliary for future. As I told you before, some others, some books say that they are modal verbs as well. I don't agree with them. Yes, I just share it. I just show it to you, but I don't totally agree with them.
Well, I guess in the sentence, I will do it. I could understand if it were a modal there, but it's more like the exception to the rule.
It is. And in the case of this, Some authors say that you can use have in this context as auxiliary. For example, have you to go there? Saying something like that sounds horrendous to me. I repeat, have you to go there? Or using need you to go there, need you to do it. So those people, those authors claim that you can use these verbs, these expressions as modal verbs using those words as auxiliaries. As I told you before, I do not agree with them, but they exist, those rules exist, so I have to share it to you.
Okay, I understand. But those two examples, I feel like they need a do you need to, do you have to?
That is what I think. Yes, that is what I think. I think they
To
are
sound
simple present. Do you have to work? That is my concern, that you
well
have
to
it in simple present. Do you have to work tomorrow? They say that you have to say, have you to work tomorrow? And
yeah,
it doesn't sound well to me.
without do you it sounds, I don't know, inorganic,
Without,
I
yes,
guess.
without,
Without,
yes. It is weird, but they
like not
exist.
natural.
Yeah, it's not natural. But remember, there is something called mutability of the linguistic sign. So maybe that is,
Mutability.
yeah, that is a mutation of the
Ah,
sign.
mutability. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was mutual with mutuability. With
okay,
mutual.
mutual, yes,
Yeah.
mutability.
There is a confuse like still of the material and still the
The
still
verb,
something.
yeah, the verb, yeah. I mean, phonetically, still, like the material, the solid material, I mean, that pronunciation should be longer, still, and the other still. But that is a phonetic and phonology rule. But when you speak English, you go fast, you know, you don't make the difference. When
Yeah,
speaking
that
is
won't
different,
happen.
just the context gives you the difference.
Yes.
Okay,
What about
Carlos.
this? What about this? Max still some still.
Okay, Max still some still. The second one is a verb. The others are nouns. Okay, Carlos.
Oh, may and might. Those are the ones I forgot.
Yeah, listen, these are the modal verbs. You have them in the column in the middle. Yes, modal verb may, can, could, would, may, can, must, should, ought to. See, obligation should, obligation partial, obligation less common, ought to. According to this author, full obligation must. Logical conclusions must as well.
Mhm.
Logical conclusion weaker than must, should. So two different usages. Possibility can, possibility weaker than may or might, could, possibility weaker than may, might, possibility stronger than might, may, future actions, states, or intentions with will. How can we know this? For example, modal verb may used for request in a formal environment. Can you read this question?
May I sit down?
You are requesting something, you are asking for permission. In this case, you are requesting for permission in a formal environment. You can also say that using can, because can is also used for request in an informal context. You can say, can I sit down? Or another word for request, polite, could I sit down? Being more polite. Yes, or another request, being also polite, is like a synonym for these different translation into Spanish, but synonyms in usage. Polite request, would you mind if I sit down? This is being completely polite. So what we need to take into account when using modal verbs is first, the way they look, yeah, the morphology, and then the situation in which they are going to be used, the usage of them. When speaking, it's quite hard to distinguish between one and the other. This is just a matter of practice. When you practice it, when you practice all of them a lot, you realize when to use them. Yes, but first to study them, to study the usages. Do you know all of this?
Yeah, I remember. One thing. What about shall for example, a request and an obligation? It can be used like that too, if I remember
Remember,
correctly.
shall is for a request and invitations. And remember, it is only for I and we. It is British. It's like when you say, shall we cross the street? Shall we visit your friends? It is more like an invitation.
Okay, but what about something like we shall do it?
It is a command. It is also used for that. Yes? You
For a
shall
command,
you shall
okay.
respect your parents. For example, you shall not lie.
I think it's in the Bible or
It is
something that
it
is
is in the
often
Bible.
used
It is in the
like
Bible.
a archaic English or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm not an expert in the topic, or
Yeah.
even a novice.
For some others, that shall is considered all used.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I
I
said,
think
as I told you before, it is British, totally British.
still I think you have a knack for this. The shall.
Yeah.
Like it seems satisfying when you say we shall do it.
Yeah. Yes. And this Act 2 is more like an American Act 2.
By the way, Hamley,
Uh-huh.
do you think anyone who will or may watch the recording will understand what we're saying?
I hope so.
Well, this is English. You
Yeah,
have an excuse.
yeah, it is English. Yes. Listen, Carlos, a question for
Yeah.
you. This for may, yeah, this may can take a negation in contraction. Is it possible?
Mayn't? No.
Okay, I'm gonna surprise you. It is possible.
But,
Mayn't. It is not common, but it is possible. Grammatically possible. You can say mayn't and
may.
apostrophe T. Yes. Like
Mayn't.
can't. Yes, totally possible, man. I told you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is a surprise, right?
And here I was thinking shall was archaic.
Yeah. And by the way, shall with negation can be pronounced shan't.
Shan't. Oh
Shan't.
yeah, I saw it before in the other part, yes. The first page.
Yeah. And it is not as yes, it is here. Might, this might with an apostrophe T is also possible. Might.
That I've seen it.
Okay.
But not mayn't. Never mayn't.
Okay. But okay, from today on, you know that it is possible that you can do it.
But mayn't.
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 Okay. Mustn't, shouldn't. Yes. And all of them. Can't.
Okay. Okay, that sounds like a Marvel name.
Like a what?
Like a Marvel name, like Captain Maint.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
Maint, Maint.
Made. Okay. Same information, different examples, but it's the same information. Something I want to highlight here, can has a past form, which is could, right? But it is also possible to write this be able to in past and in future. For example, this way is present. He's able to find any street in London. It means that he can find any street in London. But if you want to make the conjugation in past, you say he was able to find. Or if you want to do it in future, you say he will be able to find any street in London. So I'm going to give you this. If you want to say can in past and in future, also in simple present tense, but in present tense, you have the option to say can too. Yes? Okay, you have here
Okay,
need to, needing to. Again, when using need to as a modal verb, it is the auxiliary, its own auxiliary. So you make the negation using it. For example, needing to. Yes, in here.
But still, don't need to sounds more
Yeah, I don't need to
again,
work
organic.
today, or I needing to work tomorrow. Yeah, but when you say I don't need to, sounds like more correct. Yes,
Or more or longer.
it is longer.
Well, yeah, but it sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds better. Yes, big time better.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
A whole
Carlos.
new scale. Yep.
Carlos, I'm gonna show let's see something here. Sorry. Mhm. Okay, these sentences have mistakes. Can you tell me which the mistakes are? For example, in number 1, it says, find a word that should not be in the sentence and write it in the blank. What word should I write here from this sentence number 1? What is incorrect here?
To.
Tell me.
To. To.
2. Okay. In number 2,
Have.
okay. Number 3,
Been.
okay, excellent. Number 4,
To.
okay. You hesitated, right? Number 5,
No, no, it's that I was gonna say to again, but there's no
okay,
again ahí. So
okay. What about this? He might have had left his wallet at him.
okay, that's interesting.
It is.
I think it's had.
Uh-huh.
Grammatically speaking, why is that? I quite don't understand, but I know when you say might is like saying quite in the past, but why is had there? I know it's had, but I know exactly,
It is
but I don't know
perfect.
exactly why.
It is a compound tense using modal like using this have and left, which is perfect. A perfect modal might have left. Podría haber dejado.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What about the next? You are not
Okay,
allowed.
I understand.
Okay.
It.
Okay. What about this? Sonia should be no.
Be.
Okay.
Be.
The need to have spent so much money on redecorating the house.
Have.
Totally sure.
Yes.
Okay. Next.
Is.
Okay. Next.
Is to.
Okay, it's two. No tengo vaso. No sé quién. Okay, Ellen is likely Ellen is likely that to return sooner.
That.
Okay, next.
That.
Again.
No, no dije nada.
Okay.
I said nothing. I was mumbling.
Okay. How about we calling him
We.
to? Okay. That can't to have been
Yeah, we
Richard.
can omit that. I know.
Hmm?
To. To.
Mhm.
To for Thursday. Wow.
Okay. What about this? Might does he still be waiting for us? Remember, modal verbs are their own auxiliaries. They do not need more auxiliaries.
Does.
Okay. She will has to make.
Will.
Okay. He has had got to borrow money twice already this month.
Has. No, no, wait. He has had got to borrow.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's interesting. Had.
Okay. You mustn't to let anyone know
To.
to. She may have had given.
Okay, this. She may have had given you the Congress. Had.
Okay. And finally, would you mind if my asking you a person question?
Would you mind if I mind asking you a person question?
Yes.
If
Okay. Let's check to see what happens here. I'm going to ask this system for the hints. Okay, check. Oh. This doesn't want to check. No.
why?
Something's happening here. It's like freezed.
Hmm?
This is like freezed. Oh. If I refresh here.
Okay, that's gonna erase everything.
Yeah, it's gonna erase
Yeah, it's
everything.
gonna erase everything.
Something's happening here. I'm seeing the ad. Okay. No, it's not gonna happen, I think. But you were
What
right.
about right click?
This, I think, would you mind if I ask you in here, if I ask you a person question, yes, this is correct.
But still,
Tell me.
would you mind? No, for example, I have a doubt on that one because even if I take the if, it wouldn't be, would you mind if I ask you a person question?
A
Yes,
person
but
question, yes. Yeah, it is
yeah,
correct.
I don't know a way to say that is correct, really.
Yes, it is. It is.
Would you mind my asking?
But you can also say something different. Would you mind asking me another question, for example? It is possible.
Yeah.
Would you mind asking me another question? Yeah. Or, like I said, in this case, would you mind if I ask you a person question? Any other doubt here? No?
No, not really.
Not really. Good. Okay, perfect. Listen, Carlos, this is modal verbs.
No, wait.
Tell me.
One thing. Here in Mr. Vermont, there at
Okay.
9 o'clock. I can also say Mr. Vermont is to arrive tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Yes, I was going to tell you that. Without writing will, that is another way to refer to future, to a close future. Yes? Is to arrive.
Yeah, what I thought.
Yes? Or you say, Mr. Beaumont will arrive tomorrow at 9 o'clock. In this case, I would say this with will, because I think this future is not that close. It's going to be tomorrow, not today. If it is in 2 minutes, maybe Mr. Beaumont is to arrive in 2 minutes. So the person is about to arrive, yes, in a short period of time. But in this case, I would say will.
Well, with the is to, it sounds like, I don't know, a secretary or something.
It is?
It sounds like a secretary or something.
No, it is like closer in time.
No, yeah, but don't you feel that when, for example, when you call the dentist or something, the secretary tell you the doctor is to arrive at said hour?
Yeah, it is common in that context. I've heard it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Especially when they said Mr. Beaumont.
Yeah, Beaumont.
Beaumont.
Yeah.
French.
Yeah, I think it is French. Okay, Carlos, any question on this?
No.
Listen, this is modal verbs. It is not that hard. I mean, it must be easy for you all because you have been taking this for around 5 years in high school. So I think you can use can, must, should, any of them easily. But please take the usages into account, the context and the usages. That's going to be important during the evaluation. Yes?
Yeah, the mensual test. How do you say that in English?
Monthly test.
Monthly test.
Yeah. Monthly test. Listen, Carlos, let me tell you something. You can speak English. You can communicate. I just gave you a class in English. You were talking to me in English and you did it. So don't say you can't, okay?
Yeah, but I've been saying it like 5 times in this class, but it sounds inorganic when I say it.
It sounds?
Inorganic, like I make a pause when there is no pause, for example. It's not
But
that fluent, except when I'm confident about the topic.
listen, that is normal. That even happens in Spanish. When you're speaking Spanish, sometimes you make pauses. You stop for thinking about something. I mean, what is
Oh yeah, tell me
important
about it.
here? What is important here is to know when to stop. Yes? If you need to stop, you stop and think. You have to give your own personality to your English.
Yeah.
Yeah? Not
And what
every,
about if my Spanish still doesn't have a personality?
if you what?
What about if my Spanish still doesn't have personality?
Why do you say so? All of us
I
have
don't
a
know.
personality. Yeah, all of us have a personality, even in Spanish and English. So I'm going to recommend you to watch a video of a person called Richard Quest. He's an
Quest
anchor.
like Quest,
Yeah, Quest,
como Johnny, like Johnny Quest.
like Johnny Quest. He's an anchor in in CNN Economics, I think, in CNN in English, CNN American. He's a native English speaker, but his English, I think, is horrendous. And he's native. He speaks in a very rough way. He goes like, I mean, like if he were not American, but he is American, but he doesn't speak a standard English. So what I'm telling you here is that everybody speaks his own English. I mean, with the personality of everyone. There is a standard English, yes. You have to follow the rules, yes. But you have a personality. So give your personality to English. Maybe you can speak it fast, maybe you speak it slow, but that is normal. Yes?
I think you are in the middle, for example. So do I.
Yes. Yes.
But I do understand where someone speaks fast. Up
Do
to a
you?
certain level, of course.
Yes.
What I don't know is, for example, the British and the Australian, that I
But
don't know.
those are harder. Those are harder. I mean,
Well, I know they're harder even for native speakers. So yeah, but still.
but that also depends on the region. I mean, I've talked to people from the UK. I mean, I've talked to people from London, from the north of London, and they go hard. They go really hard. The pronunciation is more like German, German English,
German.
and yeah, like the intonation, yeah, the stress is more like German, and it is hard to understand. But if
Like
you talk,
Wata.
but it's stronger, it's
Tota.
like giving hits, like giving punches, like very strong. And it is hard to understand. That is the north of London. But if you talk to people from the south of London, their English is easier to understand. But that will depend on the region. It's like an American coming here to Venezuela. If the person coming here to Venezuela to learn Spanish and gets to Maracaibo, it's going to be
No,
harder for
boy.
the person to speak it, to
No,
understand it.
boy.
So if the person goes to Caracas, to Puerto La Cruz, that person is going to find different Spanish. Yes,
Yeah.
in of those
Oh,
regions.
and what about Scotland?
The same,
Well, I heard
depending on
that
the region.
Scotland English is,
Hard. It is hard.
again, I haven't heard any Scotland English before, so I can say.
Have you heard English from Australia? They speak
And
like a country English.
the closer to that is Lost, the series.
Okay, but remember, series are made for everybody, so they have to
Yep.
try to speak standard English.
Yep. Again, that's why I can say.
Yeah, yeah. But the lesson here is, I mean, to try to learn English just the way you feel more comfortable. I mean, if you want to speak fast, try to speak fast. If you want to make your pauses, make your pauses. That is totally normal.
Well, I think this about how I'm speaking right now, like this. I think this is my pace.
It is the
you
same
can
way you
say.
speak in Spanish. Yes,
Yeah,
same way. So
I haven't figured it out.
yeah, yeah. So it is okay. It is quite
Okay.
okay. It doesn't matter. Carlos, no questions?
Just one.
Okay, tell me.
What I had to do for that activity, that it's for one, I don't know. There's nothing there.
No, you're supposed to do something, but we're supposed to be in groups. So we're doing nothing because nobody else showed up.
Oh,
So don't
okay.
worry about that. Yes?
All right.
Just keep on working on the wiki. Have you done it? Have you
The
something?
wiki? No, not yet.
That is the second evaluation you have for this term.
Okay, the wiki.
It is also a group evaluation, but it's not oral, it's not listening, it's just writing, copying and pasting.
Yeah. Copy and pasting for the wiki.
Yes. Okay. I think it's gonna be easier for you to do this.
Well, yeah, I suppose. How many do you think there are in, or I mean, how many do you think have already made the video?
I think I haven't checked, but I guess the majority of you have done it, but I haven't checked. Why?
No, curiosity, yes, curiosity. I uploaded race yesterday to get the extra 2 points in case of,
Okay.
you know,
In case you fail,
yeah.
I think that is not possible.
Well, you never know.
We never know. Yes, that is true. Okay,
You
Carlos.
know, the one test I once was confident about, let's just say it didn't go well.
Okay.
That's why when someone asks me, how did I do in a test? I say, I don't know. If you don't have expectations, you can cross them.
Okay. You never know, but you really know. You really
No,
know it
really.
is a 20, but you don't
No, I rather
say.
not think about it, because when I think about it, something happens.
Okay. But things happen.
Yeah.
Not in your
Well,
case, man.
yeah, thank you. Oh, and the wiki, you have to upload it when you open it, or we should start, but you open when you have to upload the
Yeah,
archive.
when it finishes.
Okay,
Mhm.
the data. Okay.
Well, Carlos, good to see you. Good to talk to you. It was a nice conversation. It was a nice
Same.
practice.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you around.
Equally.
Take good care. Keep on taking care,
Goodbye.
man. Bye-bye.
Okay, and
Mhm.
goodbye.